What's up, everybody? It's your boy CJ here, back again with another classic shows review. Today's video is about the brothers of destruction. Now I'm just playing, Drake and Josh. They're not really brothers, but it's Drake and Josh, man. I love this show. I love it, really do. Characters. Also, you got Drake Parker, Josh Nichols. Their parents got married, and so that's what I'm saying. That's because you got Drake. No, you got Josh's father married Drake's mother. And all three of them. Megan is a troublemaking sister that always gets her way, never really gets in trouble much of the time. Then you got um Walter, which freaking Drake always says, "Whoa, Walter." And then Aubrey, which I never knew her actual name, is their mother. Then you got other characters like Crazy Steve, which he always he talks very very loudly. Oh man, it's funny. It's very funny. You got the owner of the it's cause Drake actually Josh gets a job at the little movie theater, and Helen, there's that's the other character. Then you got it's the one character, Gavin. He's the dude Gavin. He's the dude with his hair is always long. He's kind of talking all just I do him. He talks all kind of low and all that stuff. You got other characters you got Mindy, which becomes Josh's girlfriend later on, which she hates Drake. But that's not the only person that hates Drake. You got their teacher, Mrs. I don't know her name, but she hates Drake. She hates Drake with a passion. Then you got other characters. You got Eric and Craig. Here it is, Eric and Craig, which is they're two friends, nerds, and they're friends with Josh. I guess you're cool with Drake, but into the episodes. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the relationship. Drake and my bad, when Drake and Mindy. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about how when they first when it was a couple. Before they even started dating, Mindy always trumped over Josh, no matter what. They both do the same thing. They might make the same experiment, but she always made it better. She was smarter than him, and he always kind of hated that. Which I guess in a way she started liking him, because it was an episode when they finally dated, because they was arguing with each other, and it was well, I might like you, so I might like you, and then she said, I might like you too. You know what I'm saying? And they're oh, well, I guess it's already been said. You know what I'm saying? Then they dated that episode, and then when Josh found out, no, when Drake found out, no, he didn't find what Drake. Oh my bad. Josh did tell Drake, but he told him kind of late because eventually because Josh already know that Drake didn't like Mindy. He felt that if he tell Drake would be like, you know what, leave her alone. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't like her, you shouldn't like her, whatever. And then she ended up quote unquote dumping him in a way. And then he was all sad. And then they went and Drake helped Josh out getting her back, and he went to the window and eventually got back together. You know what I'm saying? You got one episode when Josh actually started growing out a mustache, and she did not like it. She did all types of ways to try to give him the shade. She tried to put on some lip gloss, his favorite lip gloss, named Apricot, and that almost pulled him in. He no, I'm not finna shave my mustache. You know what I'm saying? Then you got when Mindy hired dang, Megan, yeah, my bad. She hired Megan to shave it off, to shave the whole thing, but she only was able to shave half of it because Drake woke up and she almost got caught. You know what I'm saying? So I was read to the episode. He ended up drawing. No, Drake. No, my bad. Drake ended up drawing a pencil half to the other half, and it looked kind of weird. And then so he decided to shave the other half off, but he couldn't get the marker off, so Mindy ended up drawing the other half off, and then that's the only thing he could do. That's how he ended off the episode. Yeah, one episode where Drake and Josh had dates with these twins, but what had happened was before that happened, they accidentally had I think Drake. No, my bad. Yeah, I keep getting them mixed up. Josh had a rocket, And so they decided to repair and repair it together. And the rocket shot out and destroyed their neighbor's son's treehouse. So their parents forced all three of them, because they said Megan was helping them out. They all three of them had to fix it. And eventually, Drake and Josh got stuck in the treehouse, and Megan left. You know what I'm saying? And so they did all types of stuff to try to break out, because Josh, no my bad, Drake, he had drew like the door, the little pencil for the door, but he forgot to cut it out. You know what I'm saying? So that didn't work. So they were stuck in there hungry, and then eventually they kept running, ramming it so it could fall down, and eventually failed. But they was still in there. It just fell down. You know what I'm saying? You got one episode because Drake he dated so many he dated so many type of girls. His one episode is when it was raining, and their dad was forced to do a newscast while it was pouring down raining. He got robbed by these guys, so he was in his pants while it's raining during this whole while everything was going down. Everybody else, cause Josh wasn't there. Josh was with like the band helping out Josh's band, Drake's band get ready. They were stuck somewhere else. So Josh basically he needed help because Josh invited all three of his girlfriends, his current girlfriend and the other two girlfriends, and so Drake was like, "Oh man, I need help. I can't let all the three of these girls get together." They eventually all was talking together, laughing and jump. And then when Drake finally confronted them, his girlfriend told him that they was just talking how great of a kisser he is. And he was like, "Oh, for real? Okay, you know what I'm saying?" But then they switched on him and be like, "Can you tell us which one of us is the great kisser?" He like, I need to rent it out. You know what I'm saying? Crazy Steve, you're watching Dora, talking about, "Don't ask me, Dora. You're the one with the map." You know what I'm saying? That was a little funny thing he was doing. Um, I think they had like a little thing that was like that. That's one of those. That's the only way they were watching TV, was like a little wind up thing. And then I think Craig, no Eric, yeah Eric, he was getting tired. And then Steve was like, "Keep turning," you know what I'm saying? He was like, "Can I stop?" He's like, "Can I stop?" And he's like yelled at him to keep turning the thing over and over and over again. I think eventually the handle broke. So the only thing they left, the last thing they did was singing, and they sung a little, dun 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 dun. They were singing that, and that was it for that episode. Um, Another episode is when Josh had to prepare for a very very important test, and he was late because of Drake. And then eventually Josh was like, "You know what? I'm done with you." You know what I'm saying? He like, and Drake was like, "What that supposed to mean?" You know what I'm saying? We're brothers. We're gonna live together, go to school together, but I'm not going to associate myself with you. When he did that, Drake's life started plummeting, and Josh started getting, his life started going up better. And it was a little sad part towards the end where Drake was almost late. He was partnered up with his boy named Clayton. He was like, you know what I'm saying? And Craig and Eric called him a nerd. They were like, "Clayton, nerd." That was funny because with Clayton, if you had the subtitles on, it actually tells you exactly what he's saying. If you don't, you won't know what he's saying. And then Drake, like, he started pouring. He's like, "Oh no, he was in the chemical bath. He was all that water down." And he was like, "Ah man, you know what I'm saying?" He was about to leave. He's like, "Josh, listen, I'm sorry man, I'm sorry." And that was pretty sad. You know what I'm saying? He left. Drake was like, Josh was like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Eventually they made up, and it was playing ping pong like, "Ah, hey, ah, hey, ah," and they were doing all that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like karate ping pong. Another episode is when Drake created fake IDs for both of them. I think it was Jefferson Steelflex and Alvin Yakitori. They got caught. Police brought them home, and mom and dad was like, "You know what? That's it. You guys always get in trouble." They played a trick on him, had him get handcuffed, but the bad thing was it started turning on him because a real life criminal he took the police car while Drake and Josh was handcuffed in there, and was like, you know what I'm saying, drove out with them. And then he was like, so what y'all in for? And then they was like, "You know what, we robbed the place," you know what I'm saying? And then the dude eventually wanted them, to help them rob a place. And then Drake and Josh like, you know what? Take us home so you can, so we can, take us back home. So you know what I'm saying. So I guess they can get help. Cause he took him back home. And then the dude ended up calling his backup. And then Drake and Josh like, you know what? We need to get these guys out of here. And they end up like Drake, no, it was Josh. Drake had a banana. He was hitting Josh across the head, and he pulled him back up. There was blood on his hand. Pulled off his arm. They did all that to get him out. When their dad came home, yeah, I forgot to mention that he got tied up and they threw him in the closet. At the end, they went to go eat some Chinese food, but they forgot that their dad was still in the closet. That was crazy. You had one episode. Well, here's the episode where Mindy. Well, cause they broke up. Cause one episode where I think Drake told Mindy he loved her, but no, my bad. Josh told Mindy that he loved her. I think the episode, and it kind of turned out well, like they ended up breaking up because the reason why, cause like Josh, somehow Drake made Josh think that Mindy's trying to just use us against him, to make him turn soft and like make him, cause of the competition, to make him lose. And then Josh was like, you know what, no, I'm not gonna do that. He quote unquote beat her, and then it was revealed that she let him win, cause her machine was like, cause again she always beat him. You know what I'm saying? She always beat him in any kind of competition. She got sad. They ended up breaking up. They got back together. There was one episode where Mindy ended up she got a job with Drake. She got a job with Josh at the movie theater, and then she had a little gold vest, and then she eventually Josh got the gold vest. No, I think she did. And then they started kissing. It was like still broken up. Yeah. No, my bad. That's the movie episode, I think. Cause she did got a job. She did got a job, and then yeah, that's the movie episode. I think it's called The Big Shrimp. Yeah, it's The Big Shrimp when they finally got together, cause so they kissed. But it was one episode when they was arguing because I think she had her cousin came and Josh got jealous, and then they was in his room. They was arguing. They started kissing, talking about we still broken up. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And they got back together during that movie. They always this is every time they fight, it's funny how they be fighting because they grab each other and Josh always picks up Drake like he about to slam him, and then every time like when something goes good they be like, hug me brother, you know what I'm saying? I was one episode they got into it, and then it was like on this show. Then it's like basically Leo trying to help them get back, become friends, be happy with each other again. And then she ended up finding out that Drake dumped her daughter, and she attacked both of them. And then at the end they still got mad at each other again for some reason. And then Manny knocked him out. Oh, it was I don't know if it's the same episode, but it was like they got mad about the coke, because here's one thing that was they always mix their cokes together, and then Drake. No, Josh gave Drake a coat that he didn't like, and then Drake was like, you know what I'm saying? They got mad and started fighting, and then they had like a little flashback, like not flashback, it was like like flash into the future where they old, and then Mindy gave Josh like the clam soup, and they fought because no, I wanted the oatmeal. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I wanted the oatmeal. No, you wanted the chowder. You know what I'm saying? And they were like fighting, and then they fell asleep on each other. No, my bad. That's the episode when cause they got mad, and then they told the story how they met in a way, like cause it was the phone finger episode, and at the end when they fast forward to the future about when they were old, Mindy threw a cookie and hit on Josh in the back, and was like, wait a minute, you hit me? No, that's a lie. I didn't do that. And they started fighting. Cause Mindy started to fight because the phone finger thing was like it was one last phone finger, and then Josh was like, oh man, you got the last phone fingers. I'm really sorry, but Minnie threw the cookie like, you thumped me. No, I didn't. And they started fighting. So that's how that's how the fight started with the phone finger. Cause at first it was the bobblehead thing. No, I think Drake. Yeah, I think it was a truce, and Josh gave. No, I think Drake gave him the bobblehead. But either way, there's a lot more episodes I remember. But there's a lot of episodes that I remember. But I'm gonna end this episode right here. If you like the video, click that like button, leave a comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you guys later. Deuces.